I'm the last speaker, so don't worry, after me it's over. Yeah, you're still with me? I see some people going like, how many speakers do they have in Holland? Well, I'm from Belgium, so I'm a different country. So this is already a new thing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lucas de Man, and every time I go back to Belgium, my family asks me, what do you do? And then I tell them that I started a company New Heroes, but I'm also a TV host in the Netherlands, and I'm also a theater maker, and I'm also this. So they always, never understand who I am, so then I tell them I am a creator. That means that I professionally create, that means that I create and that I get paid to create. In the ideal world, which is not always happening. But ideally, this is my job. So my mother sort of understands what I'm doing. Anyway, my company is called New Heroes. We are a professional creative company. That means that we are not a marketing company. We don't sell stories that we don't believe in. We only have creative professionals, from designers to video makers to artists that work with us. We are very with people instead of we keep them. Everybody in our company is freelance. We don't believe anymore that people should be stuck. What we do is three things. First of all, multidisciplinary storytelling, all disciplines, TV, radio, podcast, theater, exhibition, everything that tells a story to an audience, even if it's people from the food and bio-based industry. Second of all, creative concepts and execution. People ask us to think for them, with them, and we can also execute it. And last but not least, since 2 years, bio-based creations. That means that we make art and other creative possibilities out of bio-based materials. My story is the importance of good storytelling. That is very important. We can talk here amongst each other. You're all very well known about the circularity and about circular agriculture. But then common people, like ordinary people like me and the other Belgian people, we have no idea what's happening in the world. We need good storytelling and not only men in suits talking about the world. So I'm going to give you 4 examples of projects we did involving agriculture and involving bio-based materials. First is called We Pigland, because in Dutch it's Wij Varkenland, which is WVL. Wij Varkenland means West Flanders, where I'm from. West Flanders has 3 times more pigs than people, including the people that are pigs. But the most important thing is we have pigs. So we did a huge project with video making, with installations, with the local communities that reached 20,000 people in West Flanders talking about the future of pig industry. But I also made a theater show called We Pigland about the industry of the farming. And this theater show was about a guy who returns back to his farm where he grew up. His brother took over the farm but went bankrupt because of the system, and now is working his own farm as somebody who's just getting paid by these big corporates. This show that gives a human face to the farmer has been in 5 different countries. We did it together with my little piglet called Ivo. Don't ask me why, but it's called Ivo. And for more than 20,000 farmers, we did this show for more than 15,000 non-farmers. This was the best way to get farmers and non-farmers talking about the next step. Why? Because sometimes you get scientists saying you have to do this and this, or you get people saying the farmers are to blame. And what do you see with the farmers? They retreat. They go like, people hate us, I'm just doing my job, I'm trying to survive. What we try to do as artists, because we're not helping anyone, we're not marketing anything, but we are about the human side of things. So that's what we showed. The farmers loved it because we gave words to the feelings they have. We talked about depression, we talked about, being loyal to your family, we talked about innovation, how difficult it is, but within human words, human language. And media loves it because they love little piglets. The other thing we did is called the World Record Cookie Mosaic. This is the biggest cookie mosaic in the world. We made it in Haarlemmermeer, which is actually the community around Schiphol, the biggest airport in Holland. What we did is, there was a food festival, and they said, we want to promote local food with the farmers. But the farmers do not want to work with us because they feel like it's not about them. Can you think of something? So we said, yeah, sure, we can. And then we came up with the biggest cookie mosaic in the world. These are 20,000 cookies that were baked together only with local products, because you can baked together with more than 300 people, made together with more than 1,000 people. We made the world record, and then we distributed all the cookies in whole of Haarlemmermeer. And they were all eaten. I went to, with every cookie, I went along to see if somebody ate the cookie or not, because otherwise you do not get the world record. The great thing is, you get people together, you teach them about local products, you show them what is happening. The farmers and the bakers and the people get to know each other in a cool thing, a world record. They get the record, which is always great, proud, and of course all the media loves it. Learning about local products. The other thing is called grow. I did this for the Rabobank. People of the Rabobank are here as well. I was the artist in residence of the Rabobank the first time the Rabobank did this. So instead of buying art and saying, we are good for the artist, they said, you know, let's get artists into the bank. And we got a special deal. We could be everywhere. So no meeting we were not allowed. We didn't go to all the meetings because, you know, who likes meetings? But what we did is we interviewed the bankers about the future of banking. And then we understood that the bank is completely changing, going from this to way more this. So what we did is, and I'm going to show you how big it is, we constructed this man figure that is 9 meters by 9 meters wide, and that consists only of mycelium. I don't know if you know mycelium. Mycelium is completely bio-based product. So you take hennep or another grass product, you put some mycelium in it, which is fungi, right? And in 2 weeks' time, you go from the one picture to the other picture. You grow it in 2 weeks' time, and you can grow mushrooms out of it. So we said, you know, this is good for the environment because it's completely bio-based. If you don't need it anymore, you put it back into the countryside and becomes manure, and you keep the CO2, which is very important. Normally, when we are producing, a lot of CO2 goes up in the air. Here, you can actually keep the CO2, which is also good for the environment. So we said, together, all the bankers, with their children, they can grow these pieces of mycelium, and we will build this statue together. Like this, you see, you can have all kinds because you can dry them. They stay like this inside for years. They stay good. And the great thing is, you can grow mushrooms out of it. We worked 1 year on this to make sure that we can actually manipulate exactly the product the way we want it. And we built this statue. And the great thing was, the complete statue is built with bricks made by employees of the bank. It's completely dried, and the hands keep on harvesting the mushrooms. So the hands give mushrooms back the whole time. So these hands were full of mushrooms. Every day you can harvest the mushrooms and you can make risotto. And I tasted yesterday the risotto in Milan. It's amazing, you know. So this is art, this is learning, this is working together, and this is also making sure that we give a new message. Last project, this is also what you see there on the wall. For the Dutch Design Week, we are making a completely 100% bio-based pavilion. Why? Because the bio-based industry is working behind. People do not understand it. The building industry, which is huge, they don't trust the agricultural industry. They think, oh yeah, it's not, you know, we're not going to trust it. So we said, why don't we make a pavilion that is completely bio-based? The walls, the roof, everything, which has never been done before. Now we know why, because it's difficult, but you know, fuck it. So we continue. This is completely full of bio-based materials like bio-based plastics, like mycelium, like different kinds of wood that are nice. And the great thing is, within the pavilion, we're going to showcase all the companies that are working on bio-based products. We're going to have actors, real actors that are giving guided tours, which makes it a little bit more animated than people, you know, actually producing the things. We're going to make a video about how you can grow a new world, and we're going to make sure it's on national television as well. This is going to be a Dutch Design Week, and at the same time you have the Creativity World Forum, which makes 2,500 of the most amazing creative people coming together in Brabant, which you just saw, together. Why am I telling you this? Because I believe that still everyone is living on their own little island, you know, the agricultural people there, and then you have the science sort of interfering, and then you have but we forget always about the artists, about the creatives. We are the ones who can tell stories. We are the ones who don't want to sell anything. We are not the marketing people. We don't have a product to sell or religion to sell. The only things we do is that we're just a little bit crazy enough to make something that nobody talked about us. And when we were a child, people, you know, we got bullied because we were the weird kids. Now we are the one that are standing on this stage. So, this is too personal, it's okay. My daddy still loves me. So, why is good storytelling important? Because it's on the human level and human language instead of scientific bullshit. Because imagination is very important. People, their imagination is the most powerful source we have. You will never forget this huge statue that is completely full of mushrooms, that you actually ate the mushrooms off. You will never forget that. When you have just a mycelium wall, you don't even notice that it's mycelium. Why? Because the media loves it. You get way more attention in the media. Then again, the farmers are not doing well or the farmers are stealing money. And because people can get involved instead that you have to be very highly qualified to actually touch something. Now, if you want to go to a farm, you have to get 3 showers, change your clothes, and then maybe you can see something. So because of the art pieces, you have a real participation. I have 30 seconds left. Are there any questions? No? Thank you very much for listening. And now it's over.